September 11th, 2025 will always be the day Canada went communist. Effectually and economically, we've watched the transition of all major political parties go today officially. It started in July. Things came online, at least with LNG. We've already watched oil since January from just tens of thousands of barrels to now millions per month. Millions of barrels of oil since January of this year to communist China. As of July, you don't have the results yet, Canadians, but we've started shipping LNG from Kitimat, BC to our only customer, communist China. Communist China. Canadians don't want to believe it. They don't want to see it. They don't want to acknowledge it. It's been happening. It started this year. Everybody thinks that Donald J. Trump's aggression with Canada comes out of a left field radicalization of this Republican Party, but it's not. It's the security, the national security and interest of the United States of America, economic attack on the United States, United States' national security, and the American people's sovereignty. Now officially today, out of the meeting, as all reports, which are in the link of this title, you can clearly go through it. You can see what Mark Carney published and secured in Edmonton, Alberta, which is always where they go. Folks, if you don't know, if you haven't followed me in my last decade, if you haven't seen my challenges against the communists here in Canada, right in Edmonton, Alberta, you haven't been paying attention. Most videos have been erased, destroyed from my Facebook, but not the posts. And early on, you can go through or even show the marches of the Communist Party. I show you good friends of Justin Trudeau over these 8 years meet in Edmonton. I show you all party involvement. I show you the Liberal Party of Canada. I show you UCP, that was Progressive Conservatives. Before that, people called me crazy. Well, Americans don't think I'm crazy. The Trump administration doesn't think I'm crazy. The GOP knows I'm not crazy, and the White House knows I'm not crazy. And now the results are published for all Canadians as of today on all days in America's history. You have to wonder about the professional assassination of Charlie Kirk yesterday, which was also the meeting of Daniel Smith and Mark Carney as they went through things entirely as it's always done in Canada, right here in Edmonton, Alberta, especially with the Liberal Party of Canada and all those who work for the provincial crown right here in Alberta, which is Conservatives. There is no real party system in Canada. I've always maintained that it's all crown. It's one way or the highway. They have different versions of their autocracy, of their autocratic rule, which is worse than Russia. Don't kid yourself. People can pride themselves that somehow they believe that Russia's this big bad boogeyman, and maybe there is some truth to it, but when you look at Canada as it really is in its design, you can argue it's much worse than Russia. And we go about our lives, we believe, oh no, we're a free and fair society. Yet all these agendas, all these transitions continue. Our lives get harder here in Canada. We make America's lives harder. We affect that in the United States. We always have since the Civil War of the United States and the U.S. coming out of that. Canada has been a perpetual blocker, a perpetual cramp on America. Donald J. Trump has published this all year long. Now, he's been very quiet, allowing Canada to do its thing. And now officially today, on a tragic day of remembrance in American history, Mark Carney and Danielle Smith roll out the ultimate Chinese deal. Now, media is telling you there's a big deal with Germany, who's part of the EU. They're not negotiating any deals. No deals of LNG with the United States. It's already been signed off, at least for the next 3 years. The only deal Canada has is, as it's always been, communist China. The only market we're selling outside of the United States is and has always been communist China. We've been dropping off with the United States. We've been upticking at an explosive rate with communist China. Now officially today, of the 5 major Canadian projects announced, Alberta's major project is a doubling of Kitimat, Phase 2, all to China. Phase 1 just came on in July. It all goes to communist China, not the United States. U.S. does not need Canada's LNG. This project was always under a conservative liberal agreement, conservative first, liberal follow-up with communist China. It all goes to the China-FIPA deal. If you don't know about unceded at perpetual Indian war in North America, as it's always been British Columbia, you should go look at it. All Indians in BC are at war with the government of Canada and the province of Canada. This doesn't exist in the United States at all. It hasn't for well over 100 years plus, going on 105 years actually at the end of September, officially 105 years, not a single American Indian war. But yet Canada remains that way perpetually. And now, through those territories at war with the First Peoples, forever and a day, no treaties, no settlements, all crown, all in control, all dealt with China, who's explosive in BC, and now with an interprovincial deal and a federally created security alliance with China that lasts another 31 years, they've introduced LNG. Energy security, energy independence, and China's energy sovereignty forevermore at the expense of Canada. Is there an LNG system pipeline across Canada for all regions? The answer is no. But Alberta's going to be drained of its natural gas for 1.5 billion communist Chinese, because that's the market Mark Carney, Pierre Poilievre, Danielle Smith, David Eby, just so everybody knows about the political parties involved here. This is Conservative, the creators of it. Then it's the Liberals who've been expanding it. And it's NDP. All 3 major Anglo parties in Canada are all one and the same against the United States for China's energy independence, China's energy security, and China's energy sovereignty. Just so every Canadian knows, if you didn't know, you don't have energy independence, energy security, or energy sovereignty. We're a broken realm of 10 provinces and 3 territories that are not interconnected on the number one issue for a country to have sovereignty, to have independence, to have its own security. That's energy. Every country in the world will tell you that that's paramount. Nothing rolled out today in Mark Carney's new plan has anything to do with interprovincial trade or interprovincial binding security, creating a national system in Canada. Zero, zip, zilch. all again fragmented, separate projects for separate jurisdictions, all going into different directions, not uniting the country, keeping everyone divided while they create energy security, energy independence, energy sovereignty for communist China against the United States. You talk about geopolitics. There is no way to frame this any other way than with the truth that all energy out of the systems created out of BC and transport through Aframax or just regular goods traded at port are anything other than for communist China's benefit. Nobody else. It's at the detriment of the United States of America. Who is the bad guy here? Was it Donald J. Trump in the United States, or is it Canada? Because I can assure you, these projects started in 2022. The China FIPA deal started in 2014. How is Canada's military since that time? It's been cut in half, defunded, barely incremental funding, only when the USA stomps their feet and says, hey, you're supposed to be our G20, G7 ally. You're a NATO partner. This is the commitment you must reach. And Canada hasn't moved the needle, barely any at all, as though they're just telling USA for the last 11 years what they want to hear. Well, they've been moving towards communism. We've watched freedom erode in Canada like many other supposed democracies for well over 10 years. Canadians don't want to believe it. Canadians want to deny and pretend that it's a big bad boogeyman called Donald J. Trump who's calling it out, as presidents have in the past, but nobody has put forward so much action than President Donald J. Trump. Today, Americans are going through 9/11, big speeches, real busy, and on that day, Canada moves to make major aggressive changes to our energy exports away from the United States to communist China. And if you think this is new, it's not. What happened in January with oil was crafted and created more than 8 years ago. Completed, expanded, Canadians had work, they're all happy. Hey, we're making money. Who cares how dirty the money is? Who cares which countries we're bolstering? Who cares about our own country and our own interprovincial trade? Who cares about East and West? And none of these projects promoted by Mark Carney, cheered and ratified by Danielle Smith right in Edmonton, Alberta, over the last 48 hours, cemented today, released and leaked to media, of course. But nobody's looking at it as it really is. Not any kind of trans across Canada partnerships with incorporating all provinces. No energy independence for all of Canada. Alberta's not trading oil across all the provinces or natural gas from its Great Lakes of natural gas for all the provinces, making energy extremely inexpensive. There's none of that. It's all independent projects, strengthening individual provinces against one another. Nothing like the United States or other countries who put their own security, sovereignty, and independence first as a real country. That's not Canada. Canada's making deals around the world with countries that you should never want to model yourself off of. And the sad reality is 12 years ago, Canadians were deathly against this. They were adamant, no way. 18 years ago, 87% of Canadians said, do not do this. And here we are today. Canadians in a majority support this, hate the United States, our number one trading partner for well over 180 years, long before we were a country, long before we had left the British colony system as British North America. We couldn't even rely on UK, Europe, or any other partners globally. Certainly not the Asian world. It was USA that took care of us. It was USA that bolstered us. It was USA that provided all the prosperity. And how did we respond? We've now transitioned towards that which is an enemy of the United States, that stands against everything that is the United States. And people share things with me and videos say, USA bad, USA bad. Okay, if it's so bad, why don't you move to communist China? Why don't you do that? Why don't you do that? Why do we have to recreate it here? Why do we need India's caste system where more than 1 billion people live in absolute poverty? They live on less than $50 Canadian a month. A mass amount of the population, more than 90 percentile, live in extreme poverty. Is this what you want? Is this what you want? Why don't you go move there? Well, you wouldn't. But yet you want to recreate it here. You've allowed all your political parties, Conservative, Liberal, NDP, and we can go into Quebec. We'll see the same thing with all their parties, PQ, Bloc, all of it, federal, provincial, does not matter. We can go with CAC. We can look at all the same parties, all the same crown parties. It does not matter. They all wish to do the same thing. Destroy you, the people, and keep their power. You subjugated, you slaved. And the last thing they want is any effect of America coming upon you, the people. And the more we've pushed for that, the more they've panicked. And what I told you they would do before anything else would be transition towards communists. Because, hey, at least their dictatorship remains strong. At least they'll be the central government. They continue on. They would rather be communist than ever see you, the people, free. You, the people, to set rules of governance, how to govern with accountability. They will never have any of that. They're all criminals, every party. The link's in the title. It's undeniable. It's Daniel Smith stamping it. It's Mark Carney stamping it. Read his rollout. Read the results of Kitimat. If you didn't know, we've been shipping the LNG out of Kitimat straight to communist China, as we've been shipping oil out of Alberta in the millions of barrels a month to communist China. Unprecedented ever in Canadian history. Again, 18 years ago, 87% of Canadians knew better. No, don't do that. Yet Stephen Harper did it. We've watched Justin Trudeau expand and build on it. We watched NDP, Liberals, Conservatives, all three of those Anglo parties expand, craft, and see this forged. And then you wonder why USA responds the way they do. Who did what first? Well, obviously, Alberta, British Columbia, and the federal government of Canada did. More than a decade before this response from the United States of America. Where do you see us with the United States going forward? I ask every Canadian that, to search yourself. If you were the United States of America, it doesn't matter, Democrat or Republican, where do you see Congress and Senate in relation to you going forward? With your new narratives, with your new rollout, and every party all happy, every autocrat from every province all happy in this new transition. If you transition yourself to that as a trading partner, as an economic strategic alliance, how long until you are that? What transition are we doing? Again, 18 years ago, 87% of Canadians polled. 7% of the electorate knew that was a bad idea, a terrible idea. They understood what would befall Canada should we go that route. Nobody wanted to do it. Now, miraculously, through your media propaganda, you think USA bad, China good. How do you get there? How could you be that daft and stupid? And I'm not hammering on my friends and followers who are loyal to me. This is for all Canadians, all regional electorate at your provincial levels. How do you get blindsided into this? How do you not see? Because the results are clear. Anyone talking about Kitimat going anywhere other than China is a liar. Is a liar. You can look at all your trade out of Kitimat. None of it went to the United States. It all went to China. You can look at everything out of Trans Mountain since January. It all went to China. Millions of barrels a month. You're in the millions now. How much more expansion are we going to be doing to China? How long until USA says, crush Canada? They're a threat to our national security. They're a threat to us here in North America. And you wonder why. Who is the bad guy? It's us. We're on the wrong side. We're the bad guys. Alberta, not a good guy. And you say you want independence from Ottawa. How do you see that working out with the United States when you're making massive energy deals for China's security, China's independence, China's sovereignty with your energy at a massive rate, unprecedented in your history? And you're going to say, oh, no, that's okay. Don't worry. USA loves us. They're going to accept it. What delusional reality are you living in? Folks, share the video, September 11th, 2025, the day Alberta conservatives, federal liberals, provincial NDP all merged into one narrative under a communist manifesto that, if you didn't know, communism has always been a home based in Alberta forever and a day. All Marxist-Leninist parties are registered out of Alberta. Second oldest party in Canada. Think about that. Think about that, Canadians, Albertans. And you think that USA looks at you and says, just like Quebec, right? Oh, you guys got her all figured out. We're going to grant you what you need after the display you just rolled out, after what you've been doing since January, unfazed, in full support. And you think somehow this is going to get you independence. I don't think so. I think Canada's fallen. I think every Canadian in every province has fallen. And like good little socialist fascists, you get on the boxcars, you participate like the Germans did against the Jews, like the South Africans did against the indigenous Africans. You will participate, you will go along with it, and then play victim in the end. I couldn't stand up. I needed the money. I needed to participate. It was normal. It was normal. There's nothing wrong with transitioning towards communism. How do you get to that place in life? How do you get to a point where you're like, well, it's good, America bad, the free world bad, China good, BRICS good, let me transition to a BRICS nation. From crown into communism. That's what's going on. Your crown is doing that, and you're all allowing it and willingly participating. Facts. A video that needs to be shared. And the coming economic destruction of Canada is going to be cemented by the United States. Anyone not seeing that at this point on this day, in its truth and reality, in energy of all things, you're a fool and you're deluding yourself. America's going to be coming, and they're going to be coming strong and hard. It won't go unanswered, and USA's not going to sit there and go, continue, Canada, keep going, keep strengthening the enemies. Do that. Do that. America's enemies. Strengthen America's enemies. Make arrangements to weaken us. Pretty naive for Canadians. Very atypical fascist, socialist fascists. The Nazis thought like this, like your crown. They believed in their superiority, that they were just going to take out the whole world and everyone was going to roll over. Like everyone's going to roll over for Canada's transition here in North America. This is my video, Undeniable, links in the title. You can read all of it. You can see the results for yourself. You can look at where all this energy out of BC has gone, whether it be Trans Mountain or LNG Kitimat. Go look at this year's transition. Unprecedented. And if you think America's just going to say, hey, no worries, you just keep on trucking. You keep on strengthening China. Let them build that Pacific base. Let them build that Atlantic base. You power them. You power them against America and the free world. You do that, Canada. Don't worry. We love you, Alberta. It's okay. Send your massive resources there. Strengthen the dictatorial world. Totalitarianism, communism, military dictatorships. Please do that. That's what we want to see Canada be happy. We want to see Canada do that. I don't think so. I think Canadians are going to find out hard and fast just where you got yourselves to through all your government parties. That's my video. Undeniable today. Published, multiple media, can't be denied. Results in. Look at it yourself. Or play the village idiot. Play the willing participant. The ignorant. Oh, I didn't know any better. Like Nuremberg with the Germans. I didn't know any better. South Africans did the same thing. It wasn't our fault. We didn't know any better. You hung a kid up in the street, sliced open his testicular bag because he drank out of a white fountain. A whole town participated in that. That's normal. How do you get to a place where you normalize that? Canada can fall quite a bit more than it already is, but I don't see USA allowing it to continue. I think it's going to come. It's going to come over the course of this year. And by April of next year, USA is going to have enough to justify ruining Canada forevermore. And I don't see us coming back from it. And everyone's going to be going, how did this happen? Poor us. And USA is going to say, you know what? You're as sick as those Nazis were. You're as sick as those South Africans were. It's going to take you a lot of years to deinstitutionalize you. We're going to have to make you suffer. We're going to have to break this generational crazy. And that's what's going to happen. Just like every other historical account in USA's history. That's what they do. And they're very good at it. They're very good at it. And sadly, Canada brought itself to this. The people of Canada quietly and willingly allowed this to happen. Some didn't. It's really sad. I'm part of that crowd. A very small minority of us, probably 2%, maybe 5%. Maybe there's a silent 5%. But a radical 95% from all spectrums, calling themselves left and right, allowed this to happen and believed this to be normal, believed this, that they were superior and that everything was going to work out and USA bad, China good. How you get there in your mind is unfathomable to me, and at least those I think who follow me. But here we are. Share the video, get it out there. This day, September 11th, 2025. Go look at Carney's publications. Go look at Daniel Smith's publications. They're all in on it. They're all down with it. They're all ready to move on with China. And Canadians are going like this. Just like the Nazis of Germany. Oh, yeah. Oh, awesome. Just like the South Africans for apartheid. Oh, awesome. Yeah, we're justified. It's good. We're superior. Don't worry. We're going to get away with it. Shameful. Sad and shameful. A truth of what humanity really is has always been, what Canada has always been and always will be, until we ruin this system and we restart with the power of the people. But like I said, a deinstitutionalization must happen. And I think USA knows that. And I think USA is going to put the pain on so many. And it's sad so many of us are going to have to go through it. Brutal. Brutal. That's my video. Bye now.